What's going on, guys? So in today's video I am just going to show you some ways to strengthen your wrists. So with doing calisthenics and if you do weightlifting as well, you know, your wrists and like gripping stuff is probably being used like all the time. So if you get like a wrist injury, it could hinder your performance quite a lot. So you want to make sure that your wrists are nice and strong. You don't want your weak wrists to stop you from reaching your full potential. So I'm just going to show you a few ways to increase some mobility and some flexibility in your wrists, and then also a few ways to strengthen them. So I recommend doing this little routine or these exercises on like your rest days. I don't really recommend doing them every day or really every other day, because if you're doing calisthenics, your wrists are under pressure all the time. So if you do this while you're also doing like calisthenics workout, I think that's personally a bit too much for your wrists, and you could actually hurt yourself a bit more. So I recommend doing this maybe once or twice a week on rest days to not overdo it with your wrists. So let's just get into it. So before you start, just one more thing. You want to get your wrists nice and warmed up. So I recommend that you do some wrist circles for about 15 seconds. Then you do those with both your hands for about 15 seconds as well. Really get all those clicks and clacks out. And then you just put both your hands together and then you press hard, not too hard. Alrighty, we're on the ground. I'm using a yoga mat because right underneath is some hard concrete. So I recommend, you know, you get something soft like this, but not really anything softer than this. So I don't really think you should do it on like carpet, because that's a bit too soft and it could extend your wrist a bit too much when you're going into the stretches. And doing some of the exercises on the concrete could really hurt your hands as well. So getting that nice sweet spot in between, which is, you know, a yoga mat on something hard. So the first one is just putting your hands flat on the ground with your fingers facing forward, keeping your knees on the ground, and then you just lean forward until you can feel a nice stretch. And if your hands are about to come off the ground, just bring it back and just swing back and forth, rock forwards and backwards, nice and slow. Nice. So you do that for 30 seconds, and then you just switch your hands all the way back around so your fingers are facing towards you, your legs, and then you go and you lean backwards. This one's probably my favorite wrist stretch exercise. So you do that for 30 seconds as well, and then you flip your hand all the way around so your knuckles are on the ground. This one can be a bit uncomfortable if you've never done it before. And then you also want to turn your elbows in so your arms are nice and straight. So you don't want them bent like that. You want them like that. And then you just rock forwards and back to really get that stretch. Awesome. So once you've done those 3 mobility exercises, I recommend that you do all 3 of them for about 30 seconds each, and then you move on to these 2 strengthening exercises that I'm about to show you, and then that will be it. So the first one, we got push-ups on your fingertips. Put your hands flat down and then straighten. You want your fingers as flat as possible. If you bend them, it's a little bit easier, and you know, you won't hurt yourself as much. So if you're a little bit sketched out about having completely straight fingers, just bend them a little bit. And then you start off with on your knees, and then you just do a push-up, and then the farther away your knees are from your hands, the harder it gets. So you want to do those fingertip push-ups maybe a few reps before failure, because you don't want to like really hurt yourself and fall on your fingers or anything like that. So just do maybe about 5 to 10 depending on how many you feel comfortable with. And then obviously as you get better at them with the fingertip push-ups on your knees, you just go right on your feet like a normal push-up, and that will also strengthen your forearms, which, you know, is a nice bonus. So now we're going to the second strengthening exercise, which is another type of push-up, where just like one of the mobility exercises, you put your hands knuckles down with the fingers facing you, and then from here you do another push-up. So this one is a lot more taxing, a lot more uncomfortable, or hopefully not painful on your wrists. So you really want to be careful of these. So those are all 5 of the exercises that I'm going to show you to strengthen your wrists and make them a bit more mobile So the first 3 I probably do almost every single day as like a full body stretch. But the 2 strengthening exercises, those are quite taxing and a lot of stress on your wrists, so please don't do them too often. I do them at least once a week, 1 to 2 times a week, because my wrists are being worked a lot anyways throughout the week with my calisthenics workout. So if I do this every single day, my wrists are going to get destroyed, and then I can't do any calisthenics at all. So that's just going to be it. Do those 5 exercises. I'll put the whole routine in the description below, so you don't have to, write it all down by flipping through the video. I'll write down the whole wrist workout kind of thing in the description below. And that's going to be it for today. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and peace out.